It is now 7 o'clock. I'm going to call this meeting of the March 17th, 2026 Zoning Board of Adjustment meeting to order. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. And before we begin, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And before we start, I'd like to go around the room and have everyone introduce themselves so you all know who's here. Start with you, Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary Kovar. I'm an alternate.
Dirk Rodenheist, new member.
Gary Anderson.
Teresa Bascom.
Bonnie Winona McKinnon.
Romeo Dene.
Kevin Bassett, alternate.
Thank you, everybody. And I know, Tracy, go ahead.
Tracy Stickney, Land Use Coordinator.
Thank you, Tracy. And Tracy's new for us. We welcome you and thank you for being here.
Has Dick been sworn in yet?
Pardon?
Has Dick been sworn in?
Dirk, did you get sworn in?
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. Just curious.
If he hadn't been, I could do it. Justice of the Peace.
Same here.
You're a Justice of the Peace? I was looking for them the other day. It didn't
Well,
really
here
work.
you go. All right, according to our agenda, and so if you haven't all seen it, the first item of business for us is the election of officers. So we are going to take a few moments at the time. I am the past vice chair, which is why I'm currently acting as chair. So we need a new chair, a new vice chair, please. Would anybody like chair?
So I'll move to nominate Teresa Bascom as chair.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to decline.
Okay.
Sorry, there's too much on my plate,
Okay.
so I would prefer not to do that, but thank you. Anybody else who would like chair? Oh, come on.
Can the alternates do it?
No.
No. Why are you looking at me then?
I'm not looking
I
at
wouldn't.
you. I'm not
You were
looking
looking
at
at me,
you.
but
I am looking. The 3 of you, 4 of you. Anybody like it?
I've done it before.
I know you have.
It's a bit of work.
It,
I was
which is,
gonna nominate you, Teresa.
Can we nominate Bonnie Winona as chair?
I would take it if I know that there is someone as vice who can step in at a last minute to cover, because I don't know what's coming up, so.
You don't know what's coming up. Nobody does.
mm,
Oh, you mean you have something that might be coming up? that we don't know about.
Correct.
Okay, sorry. I would be vice chair. Would you? What's that?
Is that a motion?
No. It's not a motion, but I will make a motion. I move that we nominate Teresa Bascom as chair.
Second?
I think you can for the election of officers, you just can't on the cases, because those are law.
I second
Tracy, did you get those? Thank you. And
We need to vote.
I know, I appreciate your confidence in me and that, I really do. We'll see how things go. All right, it's been moved and seconded to nominate me for chair for the upcoming year. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion is passed. Vice chair?
Can I do it? I'll nominate Bonnie Winona as vice chair.
Bonnie, do you accept?
Second.
I accept.
It's been moved and seconded by Romeo. Moved by Mary, that Bonnie Winona McKinnon be the vice chair.
I didn't think we could nominate. Sorry.
I said you can and you just can't
Okay.
vote on.
I didn't because I thought you said no.
I apologize. I didn't, if I'm
Teresa's not in her right voice tonight.
No.
Something.
Kevin, I'm sorry if I misstated that. It's been moved and seconded to have Bonnie as vice chair. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, that's also passed. Okay. Thank you, and I apologize for that. Terry?
I didn't know if you would you do the alternate this time, if you were gonna go with it.
Yeah, the two of you, do you still have time left on your terms? Yes,
I think one,
okay,
I
and
think
you
last year
were
was my first
first
year.
year, so you're good. Is there anyone else here that would like to be an alternate? Are you interested in being an alternate?
Yes, yeah.
Mr. Terry Bonser,
So we need a motion for that.
that's what I was just gonna say.
So I'll nominate Terry Bonser, alternate.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
It's been moved by Gary and seconded by Bonnie that Terry Bonser be third alternate on the board. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? It's a full pass. Terry,
Yeah, I'll get sworn in.
thank you, and thank you for stepping forward. We don't always have a full board, we do tonight, so our alternates are able to speak to the cases, but they cannot vote on the cases.
Unless they're seated.
Because they aren't seated, they can't, unless someone recuses themselves. The first case is 26-001 VAPL of 12 Deerfield Road. The application is from Eric Gill, requesting a variance from Article 2, Section C3A of the zoning ordinance to permit the building of an addition to an existing structure within the setback of less than 50 feet from the frontage and side lot lines. The applicant's property is 12 Deerfield Road in Nottingham and is identified as tax map 53 lot 18. Are the applicants here? Please come forward, state your name, address.
Yeah, Eric Kyle. Applicant, address is 12 Deerfield Road.
Okay, we have your application for variance in front of us. Would you please tell us a little bit about it and then go over the 5 criteria?
The 5 grade, okay. Long story short is we're looking to do a 2-story addition to our home. We're a family of 5 in a 1,600 square foot, effectively 2-bedroom house, and so additional space is needed. There's also a lot of things about the house that needs renovation and attention, so we wanna really bring it and put it back together. So, effectively, the addition we're looking to do is attached to a home which originally, the main part closest to the road, was probably built around 1830. And then there was, some addition at some point, maybe 1800s, maybe early 1900s, and then more additions and more than the 1980s and so on and so forth. We've placed the addition to the back as much as possible, given really to just, obviously the majority of the home is in the setback. Working within that space is difficult, it's also just very close to the road itself. I could ramble on for a while, I can give you all sorts of fun information, but long story short is we want to do a 2-story addition which attaches to the existing 2-story portion of the home. It's a 1.5-story home, and so the way we're connecting is to the back gable of that home, and so just the way the geometry of everything works out. That attachment location is by far the best, and I'll explain some of the other reasons here as to why we've also chosen to put the addition in this location. Alright, the 5 bits and pieces. Right, public interest. So granting a variance for, so we're talking about 30 square feet, give or take. And we're also talking about only, well, it'll still basically be 45 feet plus or minus from the lot line. And in public interest, because there's an existing home, which I said is from the 1830s is what it says. It's a hand-hewn frame originally, so it could be earlier. And I think many people would tear down this home, to be perfectly honest with you. But my wife and I like it quite a bit, and we feel like it adds character to the area, and feel like keeping it and saving it is a worthy cause. And so the unfortunate part about it, of course, is when that structure was built, there presumably were not ordinances such as this, and so it very much so is a little too close to the road and even to the side for those setbacks. So it wouldn't be contrary to public interest because we're maintaining and keeping a home which adds historic character to the area. By all means, we're not impeding more on any public use or interest or anything of that nature. Let's see here. Right. So the second one, as I mentioned a little bit ago, the house is in not wonderful condition. So granting the variance would allow us to do the addition, but also to really address some truly structural issues with the home. That being rotten sills, foundation issues, all these other things, which we wanna do it all amongst this one whole project and really get into it and bring it back to life. The last renovation was probably 1980s, the last major work on the original home was probably 1920s. So it's literally sinking into the ground, so it needs to be addressed within that regard. The substantial justice portion is the location of the existing home, the fact we wanna maintain and keep is a large, well, basically the majority of it, 75-80% of it. We have an existing septic toward the rear of the existing home, and of course there's the side setback as well. We take into account those effectively four cardinal directions. Let's just say the existing road's to the east, south is to the neighboring side setback, west would be to the septic tank, and then north would be the existing home. We start to add in all those bits and pieces, the actual area where we can reasonably put an addition while maintaining the existing utilities and the side set, all those things really kind of hems us into this small area, which we've effectively tried to fit within this box, right? It's a 20 by 30 foot box we're looking to add on, and that is really the best location, and really the only location we can put it without either removing larger parts of the house, maybe not being able to connect to the existing second floor portion, getting into the existing septic tank, obviously getting too close to the side setback. All of those things really box us into that corner. Do I just keep going through the whole thing, then you ask questions? Okay, I've never done this before, so.
Yep, just review the
Okay. Alright, so the surrounding properties would not be diminished, in large part because this home, along with homes both down Deerfield Road and all the way up to the square, actually, Romeo, is your home's similar, they're all close to the road, right? They're historic homes, inherently, there's the character associated with those homes. They were built at a time when long driveways set further away from the road was not commonplace. And so the surrounding properties wouldn't be diminished, in part because of the precedent of homes closest to the roads, historic home, and also the fact that the home would be fixed up. It would increase certainly the roadside appeal. It would increase property value for the town, the whole 9 yards in that regard. Unnecessary hardship, let's see here.
Looks like you've gone up to 5.
I'm just jumping through all these key
It's
points.
totally fine.
Yeah. So with 5, so like a general public purpose of the ordinance, my feeling is given the home's age, when it was constructed, and the current zoning ordinance is, it makes sense for the current use of the town, the way the town is set up now, and the intent of having some reasonable space between neighbors, and I guess I don't know all the intent, but I'm assuming some of this, maintaining forest and everything else. Obviously, when this structure, the original home was built, that was not part of the consideration at that time, but we are certainly trying to meet the intent of the ordinance by doing the addition towards the back. We're not increasing the height of the existing home or doing anything else nearer to the road, right? It's really, we're trying to stay in the back as much as possible, away from the side and the roadside, the setbacks as best as is practical for the existing structure and for the limiting bounds that I mentioned previously. This is fun, cause I remember what I actually wrote in each of the sections. Right, in my opinion, this is a reasonable request, given the fact that it's 30 square foot. All the things I mentioned about basically 80 to 90% of the existing home already less than 50 feet from the roadside setback. The additional amount is small. Yeah, it maintains the character of the existing home and area.
Okay.
Madam Chair?
I was looking
Yeah.
for the denial. Oh,
Oh, yeah. Mr. Silva. It should be in there.
I don't see the denial.
I saw it here just.
I am ready.
Pardon me?
I said, question, Madam Chair, I am ready when you are.
Okay, yes, I was looking for the denial though from the,
Here it is if you wanna produce mine.
you have it for that, I have it for the next case, but not this one.
I hope it's this one.
No,
Oh, it's the next one.
I apologize if I missed it from
Okay.
the package.
that's okay.
Oh, I tried
I should've-
emailed it to you, I don't think I had it in time for mail.
Okay,
I'll get everybody copies.
no worries. All right, no one else has one, right?
I guess not.
The applicant was denied based on Article 2C3A, which is what he's here for. Setback property lines and dwellings shall be 50 feet. Applicant seeks to add an addition that will be 44 feet from the property line, encroaching 6 feet total, okay? I'm gonna pass that back to,
Could you read? It's denied because,
it's for the 6 feet that it's encroaching in on the setback.
He's in the 50-foot setback, that's why.
I guess I don't see that.
Encroaching 6 feet.
Right there, this piece is in the setback. See, this is the setback.
Yeah, the darkest hatch there is the
Yeah.
the area which does not meet the 50-foot setback. I recognize there's different shades of gray there, but the darkest one.
Little piece, that was,
You wanna see that?
that was the basis of my first question.
Oh, yeah.
And I will open it up now to the board for questions. Anybody? Go ahead.
I see on the plan, it says existing garage removed that was within that setback previously.
It certainly was, and we actually had the side setback lot line recently moved to be further away to allow us to even have us not hit the side setback requirements here, but yes, there's an existing garage which is approximately 15 feet from the lot line. I guess we don't have those older tax maps, but the existing garage is certainly well within the 50-foot setback, and if there's a light line, it's a little bit unclear, but from the rock wall where the angle comes off on the plan, which is SK 1.0. There's a line which kind of goes to the high side of the driveway. That's a, no, shoot. Ignore that, disregard, I'm leading us down the wrong path. I forget why that line's there, it's actually quite misleading, so ignore that thought. But yes, the existing garage that is there, before the lot line was changed in the last couple of months, it was 15 feet from the existing lot line.
Okay, and the question is, and that's now removed or it's going to get removed with the addition?
Will be.
So you're removing area that's within the setback,
Correct, if
Yeah,
that's your
adding-
question. That's,
adding much more, I mean, removing a lot, adding just a little bit more.
that is a fair statement, that is correct.
You mentioned a lot line adjustment. Have you already been to the board for that?
Yes, that's all been dealt with.
Okay,
Correct, so what you see here is the approved lot line.
okay.
And that's actually shown, I included those drawings at the very end just for reference purposes only, so they're in your packet.
But the garage is still currently there.
It is still currently there, that is correct.
Any other questions?
I just wanted to clarify that future garage under separate permit, so that's not started yet? Or-
It's not part of this phase, it is truly that, a future garage, which as time and money
So
allows,
it's a
will be
hope
added.
for the future.
Exactly, and will be detached garage, which my understanding is a 20-foot setback, and so we're working within those bounds at a future date.
Thank you.
Did you still have a question?
The need for this small area, and that's the only reason why you're here.
Yeah, correct.
Not to speak for you, but
Sure.
there's probably structural reasons, egress reasons. Could you explain?
Sure, so a lot of time talking about geometry and layouts internally. And so the way it works out is basically the left side of the area, which I'm here for a variance for, is the start of the two-story section of the addition going to the right. The area to the left from that is the 1.5 story, so it's a 4-foot eave wall. That's the gable end of the existing two-story portion of the home. And so for us to connect and fit it in a stair and a hallway and all of those sort of geometry things to make that setback while not also basically covering or taking more of the existing home further down on the page. This was the best solution we could come up with to just make the geometry work from an interior use standpoint and layout standpoint and access to the existing building where we're gonna have to cut the timber frame and of course with the shorter eave walls, right, the roof goes like this, so you have to put it in the
Understood,
middle
thank
and
you.
all those fun things, so, okay.
So what is this setback from Deerfield Road? Are you well within that one? It's just the side,
You mean the addition or you mean the existing home?
the addition?
A little bit of both. It's mostly the setback from the road, from Deerfield Road. The little angled portion of that dark gray hatched area, that is the side setback that's causing that little angled portion. Does that make sense? Can I come over and point to it, or is that not allowed? Here, you want me to show you?
Cause
Yeah.
okay, 50 foot here,
Yeah, so.
but this is the road.
Correct, the lot line's here, and then so this is the road setback here. The side setback is that little angled bit. So this little section here is due to the side setback, the rest of that box is due to the road setback.
Okay.
If I might suggest that you put the land use survey down and then turn this around 180 degrees. And now it fits in so much easier to understand how this works. It's this one here. So if you look, just lay it down. The shape fits perfectly, and that tells you what's going
Oh,
on.
gotcha.
You can see the lot line on the diagonal.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Thank you.
not a problem.
We usually have 2 sets of designs to go with. And this is all so much smaller. Okay. And any other questions? Okay, seeing none, I would like to open the public hearing in case there's anybody from the public. So if you'd sit back. It's 7:25. Is there anyone here from the public that is either in favor of, against the case?
There's questions.
Does anybody anybody here have any questions about?
One, two, family grow, I like it.
It's 7:25, we can close the public hearing, there's nobody that wishes to speak, so. Any other questions, board members? If not, we have a decision to make.
Motion to approve. Case number 26-001, VA, you say Pile?
Pile, yeah.
Pile. 12 Deerfield Road.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded by Dirk. Thank you. You're welcome. And we approve. I have my paper again. Case number 26001, 12 Deerfield Road, as requested. Any questions? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed from the board? 5-0. It's been approved. There is a 30-day window where anyone can appeal it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't get everything going tomorrow. Just give it some time.
Thank you.
Given the weather, you've got enough time in here, right?
Yes, very much so.
All right, thank you.
Good, thank you.
All right. Moving us on. Our second case is 26-002 VA Precision Cut Lumber LLC, 123 Old Turnpike Road. Application is from Ian McKinnon, BE of Jones and Beach Engineering, on behalf of Precision Cut Lumber, requesting a variance from Article 2, Section E1 of the Nottingham zoning ordinance to permit a residential apartment in the second story of an existing commercial workshop building. The applicant's property is located at 123 Old Turnpike Road in Nottingham and is identified as tax map 4, lot 1-1. The applicant's pleaded, and please state your name and address and your relationship to the applicant.
Sure, my name is Ian McKenna with Jones Beach Engineers.
My name's Wade Demanch, owner of the property.
All right, so I'll kind of run through everything. So we're here tonight requesting a variance from Article 2E1 permitted uses. So that relates to the permitted uses within the commercial zone. The property we're talking about here is 123 Old Turnpike Road, also known as Route 4. And Mr. Demanch's existing business operates out of this location, Precision Cut Lumber. It was a two-story wood shop and wood processing lot for custom cut wood and wood products approved by the planning board back in 2021. And today has been fully built out per that site plan. So what exists there today is a two-story structure, blue two-story structure that you can see from Route 4. Over the last few years, the owner has grown a poultry business on the property. This started just as personal use during COVID times, and then you couldn't say no to people going to get rid of chickens, so the flock slowly grew. And at the current rate that it's going, and I think based on kind of the way that I think Wade would like to take his business, things are progressing to the point where this is certainly at the point that it's commercially viable to supply restaurants with large quantities of eggs from this location. So back in February, we met conceptually with the planning board and are actually filing tomorrow at the deadline for a site plan for this. And the request is, and this is just more so background because it doesn't relate to the permitted use, but it'll we'll get there. The current plan is to construct two 56 by 100 chicken houses. And these would essentially act as a more permanent facility from which the chickens can be housed, eggs processed and retrieved, and all the necessary equipment is already on site for the cleaning and processing and storage of these eggs for sale. And as part of this, there's a desire to construct a second story, an apartment on the second story of the existing building. Currently, Wade's, a lot of his very expensive woodworking equipment exists on the ground level, and that's primarily where his wood shop business, and much of the second story is vacant, but the intent here and the request tonight is to permit the construction of a apartment on a residential dwelling unit on that second story. And the reason we're here tonight, and I think I was on the planning board in the years past a couple times where we had some ag businesses come before us, but the reason I handed out to you tonight was something of a cheat sheet that I created for myself, working through some of the state's RSAs regarding farm and agriculture. So I'll kind of read, and this will kind of get us to the point of why we're here at the end. So under RSA 2134A, essentially a definition of farming and agriculture. A farm means the land, buildings, or structures on or in which agriculture and farming products, operations, or activities are carried out or conducted, and shall include the residence or residences of owners, occupants, or employees located on such land. The husbandry or raising of poultry or production of eggs falls under that definition of agriculture and farming. It is one of the items highlighted on the first sheet I gave to you. Additionally, and one of the items planned for in the site plan is that the production and storage of compost, which is deemed accessory to a farm, is also permitted under the RSA. Under 674-32A, which we're getting into, those that have served on the land use boards for years, of 674 has to do a lot with the land use regulations. 674-32A, the presumption states that whenever agricultural operations or activities are not explicitly addressed with respect to any zoning district or location, such operations or activities shall be deemed permitted under state law, either as a primary or accessory use. So the reason I mention that is that the town's ordinance, we're a permissive zoning ordinance, so we list which uses we want to allow. By nature of this, that although it doesn't address specifically farming, that under state law, that it's assumed that farming is permitted under this zone because it doesn't specifically prohibit it. Under 674-32B, so working down the sections, any agricultural use or activity may without restriction be expanded, altered to meet technology or markets, or changed to another agricultural use or activity, so long as any such expansion, alteration, or change complies with all federal and state laws, regulations, and rules. Any new reestablishment or significant expansion of any operation involving the keeping of livestock, which includes poultry, or other animals, may be subject to special exceptions, building permits, site plan review, or other local land use board approvals. And then it moves you right on to subject to 674-32C. It'd be nice if they put all these together, but and so here we're kind of to the last part of why we're here tonight. So 674-32C, which is the last page of what I gave you. This really gets into the gray area that we mostly got into with the boards. It's not clear exactly on process, but that section states that agricultural operations must meet any generally applicable building and site requirements. However, in circumstances where the literal application would effectively prohibit an agricultural use or activity allowed by the code, the Board of Appeals, Building Code Board of Appeals, or other local boards shall grant a waiver for such requirement. So that is kind of, that's the gray area that I've dealt with in the past, and in this case, it's basically saying if you kind of take these RSAs as a whole, and because the town's code doesn't strictly prohibit farming, that farming is permitted under state law in the zone. But we know that residential uses are prohibited in the commercial zone, but that residential use is permitted under the farm use protected by state law. So we kind of go in this circle. And I think there was a consensus from the planning board, and honestly, it seems like a savings of time. We could probably have gotten town council and us trying to figure this out. But honestly, we thought for the sake of time, it made maybe the most sense to seek a variance for this tonight. And I can certainly work through the criteria. And happy to take questions on that, but I'll make sure I get through the criteria first.
I have one quick question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned in one of these sections, according to best management practices.
Yep.
Can you like elaborate?
So
Management practices for these chickens will be, how many chickens will be in these buildings and that kind of stuff?
yeah, so best management practices is governed by the state's agricultural boards. It depends on the type of livestock. Wade can speak more specifically about, like, there's, you know, we all think of like the amount of square feet per bird, or there's kind of best management practice in that sense. But best management practice also applies to the operation of the farm. So for example, on the site plan that we submit tomorrow, there's a whole area that will be designated for the storage of the raw chicken waste, and there's actually there's the guidance document that Wade will follow that shows you how you move it through. It's like a 8-step process to be essentially
Composting.
for sale compost. So all of that's an example of best management practice. So it's both the facility that you're providing for the chickens, but also how you operate that. So it's a general term that honestly the state uses in almost every type of regulation that exists, whether it's stormwater control or farming.
I'm only asking out of a slight concern for the health of the chickens. Because the health of the chickens has to do with the health of the eggs.
Right. I mean, I can tell,
And I don't,
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what the law is. Up until 3,000 chickens, there is no regulations in the state of New Hampshire or the federal government. That being said, I wouldn't be in business very long if I didn't keep my chickens healthy. The other thing is once I hit 3,000 laying hens, the federal government steps in. There'll probably be a Fed and have its own office in the building. Because they have to regulate.
so are you intending to have more than 3,000 chickens?
Depends how big business goes.
Got it, okay.
As long as the business, right now I got 3 restaurants that want eggs from me by August. It's 18,000 eggs a week.
18,000,
Just under 3,000, just under 3,000 chickens.
150 dozen.
Which is doable with them.
1,500.
Plus I can still keep up with my local Nottingham customers that stop by.
So will your chickens be pasture?
They're all free range.
Good.
Every one of them. We don't believe in keeping them in a cage in a little box.
Which is how they used to do.
No, they go out every
That's why I'm
morning.
asking you.
I'll have it all fenced off. They'll have a nice, I got 31 acres there.
I was gonna ask that question too.
yeah,
Yeah, so 31.6 to be exact, but
And is it mostly wooded?
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And the business you see from Route 4 is really
Is it?
Between Custom Weld and Pawtucket
So if you're
Place,
Freeman Hall Road,
big blue building.
Yeah, that's.
Freeman
I
Hall,
go Freeman Hall Road every day.
take a right onto Route 4 if you go to the seacoast, it's your second business on the left after Lincoln Drive, or that end of Lincoln Drive.
So one of those sort of
Kind of a
relatively new buildings.
Yeah.
Darkish, kind of brightish blue, it's a hard blue to describe, but
yeah,
it's
it
a
looks like
two-story
the
blue
sky if you
structure.
look.
Yeah,
You know,
Thank you.
and it's a good point, because the entire property is 31.6 acres, it's kind of a balloon shape, it's 300 feet of frontage, so it's clearly designed to meet the standard that existed for a long time in the town for the commercial properties. It's 300 feet, it goes about 500 feet back, and then it kind of bubbles out, and so the current property that's under use is probably in the 5 to 7 acre range, so the rest of that has, I mean, I think historically been logged, but that was many decades ago, it has not, that hasn't been touched, so.
yeah.
And that property does back up,
If you
does
were,
go out behind like Lincoln Drive properties, but that's over 1,000 feet away.
still live there.
I live on the other side of Lincoln Drive.
So if you were to expand, would you need to clear the land?
No, it's
Chickens in the woods?
recently, just prior to me buying it.
It was logged.
They logged the hell out of, excuse the French, but
It's okay.
I've actually
I
put
speak French.
1,035 trees back.
Yeah, we put some with the site plan, yeah.
I've had to clean it up a little bit, and we planted trees out there, cause all they left was junk. Being into wood, I planted a lot of nice trees out there. But we don't have to clear anything, maybe some saplings along the edge, just for passage to get in.
Or just to get the fence through and.
Yeah, and to get the fence through, but nothing major. The trees protect the chickens.
Shade.
The hawks, they can't get on them as easy. And my turkeys.
What about foxes and coyotes?
Bonnie, let's go on with what's the case is about though.
Okay, the topic is here is residential and a commercial.
Right.
The question I have for the applicant is,
I would-
does the
was going to let Ann do the
You
5
were all
criteria. She asked about the chickens.
if she's on the board, I'm aware of it.
No. Hey, don't go doing that with me tonight. I
Sorry.
just stopped her because I don't want us going down a
Understood.
rabbit hole.
I can wait.
I would like us to go back to the case and finish briefly if you can,
Yes.
the presentation, and then you will be the first question that could go on, okay?
Alright, so 5 criteria. Number 1, granting the variance would not be contrary to public interest because granting the variance will not be contrary to public interest because the residential apartment use has no impact to the general public. The apartment will be constructed with an existing legal structure that is already supported by an existing septic system and well that is capable of handling this additional flow due to what it was originally designed for. Number 2, the variance were granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed. The spirit of the ordinance will be observed because the farm use is permitted under state law and the town's ordinance does not regulate farming or agriculture in the commercial zone, but also does not explicitly permit residential uses in the zone. Because the farm use is permitted and the state's definition of farm includes a resident to support the farm, we feel the request meets the spirit of the applicable ordinances. Number 3, granting the variance would do substantial justice because granting the variance will do substantial justice because the variance will align with the state RSA that implores the board to grant relief necessary to reasonably permit the agricultural use or activity on the property. Number 4, if the variance is granted, the values of surrounding properties would not be diminished because this is always a unique one. There is no evidence that a new residential apartment within an existing structure will have a negative impact on the surrounding properties, whether it be the adjacent commercial or residential properties. And then number 5, unnecessary hardship. Conditions and such, subsection I, no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to this property. The general public purpose of the ordinance, that which prohibits residential use in the commercial zone, does not apply in the case of this request because state law permits the residential use as part of the permitted farm use. The general public will not be negatively impacted more than the applicant will be if this variance is denied. And then the subsection 2I there, the proposed use is a reasonable one because the proposed use is reasonable because the caretaker or owner's apartment, utilizing the state's definition, is a common supporting use for the farm and will have no noticeable impact to the existing property.
Okay, thank you. Kevin,
My question was answered from the response from 1 and 5, so. Okay.
anybody else opening up to the board for questions?
I'm not 100% clear as to how the lot lays out. And you've got 2 11 by 14s over here.
Yep.
And I'm trying to match them, but I can't. I don't understand exactly how you've got it.
So I believe the second one you're looking at is actually the Barrington. Yeah, that's the Barrington abutters, but you have to take that from a separate GIS so that it comes from Barrington's.
Okay.
So the one in the top one there is all those red are the immediate abutters. And just for reference, just because I know it's helpful, is the site plan that you see before you, the one that we included a copy of the approved site plan from 2021. That is the very front neck. It's only the first 500 feet, so that just gives you an idea of how much land still remains behind everything you see of what exists today.
There's another fold out, you say?
I'm not sure we all have the same map.
I only have
Yeah.
probably two.
Yeah.
I do have extras
Should
if
be,
somebody.
should be one like that. I don't think.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep, sorry, that one. So that, what you're looking there, at the very front 500 feet of the property, there's another 2,000 feet, 1,500 feet or so to the Barrington line. This property backs up to the town line.
Yep.
If nobody does have it, I do have extras.
Just for clarification, so that, on, you know, what map am I looking at?
The C,
1A.
C2?
C2.
The proposed workshop is the building we're talking about.
Yeah, and again, this is, we just included this is what's on file with the town. This is the approved, so if we were to go down and look in the file, this is what's on file with the town. So that proposed wood shop is existing today. It's a 2-story wood shop. The septic has been built, the well's in, everything on this plan has been built.
And the wood shop is a continuing business.
Yep, that was kind of his initial, why he moved his business to this location. I think the intent is, there's no intent to stop or cease operations of the wood business.
And that's what the septic and water are sized for.
Yeah, I was just asking, we could pull it from the one stop, but our recollection is that it was a 3-bedroom septic, which is kind of a standard minimum size, so this would certainly qualify both to cover both the business and a single dwelling unit.
Eventually, you're gonna build 2 coops that are gonna be around 6,000 feet each.
5,600 apiece, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
The first one's kind of a unique building. The inside space is 40 by 100. The outside walls will be 56 because 4 40-foot containers for storage of all the needs of everything will be built right into the building.
And they act as the structural support walls for the roof joist as well.
Okay.
I guess I'm a little confused on something. You already have chickens,
Yep,
but you don't have a chicken coop for them?
I do, small coops. It just kind of grew, but
So they're separate from the wood shop, they're not in your word, because I'm trying to picture you,
I got a,
because we have chickens on our farm. I'm trying to picture you having an apartment above a workshop that has wood and chickens in it, and that just doesn't register in my head as to why you
I
wanna
have
do
a,
that.
I have a garden building.
It's really a movable hoop.
Yeah, it's a movable
Okay,
hoop house, so to speak.
I understand those, we have them too.
Except for the roof just blew off last night. Now I got a bunch of chickens that are exposed to animals and everything, which
That's not fun.
You know where
it's
you're
gonna be a
going
long
after this.
night. But that is where the chickens are kept now. It's been a very tough winter.
Yep,
So 2 things happened. One, I got asked to expand my egg business to meet these restaurants. They all want, free range eggs.
okay, and I don't need to go into the chicken and the eggs.
Yeah.
I know that wasn't as a joke, but I just was wondering where they were located.
No, that
as
and
opposed to
the
your
fact that I gotta
workshop.
expand is why I'm building these buildings and it's easier to keep them warm
Okay.
than what I had.
What I need to know about is where you're putting your apartment. The ADU is going above the wood shop, totally separate from the
Yes,
chickens.
I have
Yeah.
a quarter
This
of
is
$1
a
million
totally
worth of
separate-
woodworking
There-
tools in there.
Yeah.
No
Only
chickens.
related because it's farm,
Yes,
correct,
Yeah.
right?
yes.
Okay, so the workshop is going, the apartment is above the workshop.
Yeah.
Does anybody have
Period.
any-
It's not an ADU, is it?
No.
Okay.
Well,
An
I don't-
ADU has to be attached to a residence, or
Right.
not attached physically, has to be a part of the.
of,
Yeah, this would be, I think we're asking for a residential use, because we wouldn't be able to have an ADU unless we actually had a residential
Exactly.
use on the property as well, yeah.
So it's a 2-bedroom sort
I
of
don't know if you
apartment.
figured that out.
Didn't really figure it out. It's got a conference room and 2 offices, bathroom, and a 20-foot storage area. It's 400 square feet, I believe.
Total, yeah, you're
40 by 60.
You're 40 by 60 footprint, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of divided off. I can easily use it as an apartment.
Yeah, and you'll have some you'll do some
Kitchen.
interior cleanup and stuff to make it a residential unit.
Single resident, is that what we're looking at? Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, a single residential unit, so I don't know if we can necessarily determine how many bedrooms, but it's intended to be one residential unit.
So aside from, let's put the farming part aside,
Exactly, we have to.
you know, this application is for variance to permit a residential apartment in a second story of an existing commercial wood shop building. Okay,
Yes.
In the commercial zone,
in the commercial zone.
which is kind of why it's attached to the farm.
Yep.
It's not allowed, except in farm.
Farm is just a weird overlay that nobody really understands how you're supposed to follow the rules.
Farming is kind of sacred in the state.
And I will say that
Just this one though.
we did just pass, which the state is requiring that multifamilies be allowed in commercial zones now. And the town just passed that, so that'll be part of the ordinance. A little bit of history is that the commercial zone had residential use in there, which is why you see a lot of, on his map, residential subdivisions around in that commercial zone. And it was brought up at the planning board that those residential uses were then shrinking the town's capacity for commercial uses. So that's when it became not allowable for single families, which is still current, but multifamilies based on the state is now allowed. So just a little context for that.
Thank you, Tristan.
Would the planning board identify or establish whether this is a single bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom or 3 or 4 or whatever?
No, that's jurisdiction of
Okay.
building inspector.
Of the building inspector?
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
So we have no multi-use zoning in Nottingham that allows residential above commercial?
No, because I think residential above commercial specifically might, in many municipalities, they consider that mixed use. But correct. I don't think the ordinance specifically addresses mixed use. And yeah, there's no overlay or anything like that in the town. But, you know, based on what we're proposing here, I don't believe it would technically qualify as the multi-unit housing that currently passed. Because we're not asking for multiple units, nor do we probably have, we don't have the septic or anything like that to support the multiple units, so. Fortunately, we're not big enough to qualify under that allowed use.
Yeah, the only other district that allows residential, besides residential or the agricultural residential, is the town center district. That does allow mixed use and residential.
Which is where we are.
Excuse me?
Which is where we are. Did you get the store across the street and then our farmhouse?
Yeah.
That's mixed.
This is just for, I know this is more under the building inspector's realm, if you will, but because you have commercial below, residential above, so in my mind, that also creates some concerns for things like egress, fire, what have you, so.
Got staircases on both ends.
Yep. Yeah, I believe you have an, do you have an
I've got an 8-foot sliding door off the second floor. I got more ways out of that place than.
Yeah, again, it's a building inspector thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, he would, yeah, I've got complete fire alarms. I've got security lights, it's all stuff you need for commercial that you don't need for residential. The place more than qualifies. Just so you know, I was a builder for almost 40 years.
Okay.
I held a license in Massachusetts for 20.
Anything else from the board? Before I open it up to public. Alright, thank you two would have a seat back.
Thank you.
Now, 7:54, I'm opening up the public hearing. If you'd like to speak for or against the application, please come forward. Please state your name and your address. And address your comments to the board, please.
Hi, my name's Jonathan Patrick Parento. My dad owns Custom Welding and Fabrication. My mom owns the abutting property across the street, the 36 acres.
Are you a resident of town?
I'm not, but
Okay.
I work at the shop and I'm speaking for my mom because she's right there and I
Could you come
can't.
up
Come on, Mom. Yeah, so
and state your address, please, and your name?
she owns the 36 acres across. She doesn't live in town
Deborah
either.
Ann Parento, and I was a resident in Nottingham for all of life of raising my children, 40-something years. And I live in Barrington now, but I do own the land across the street. And I own Custom Welding for
Okay, thank you.
40 years, 30 years, I don't know.
So it's disgusting over there. If you guys wanna take a ride over, hang out in the parking lot, it's absolutely disgusting. We can't leave our windows open in our trucks. It's horrid. It's not right, so that's why we're here. It's disgusting.
What makes it disgusting?
The water runoff comes right onto our property and it's all just chicken and it's disgusting. It is, I got a water sample, I didn't get it here in time. I took a water sample of our well, so I can hopefully prove that we have groundwater problems from the runoff.
Sean, I'm showing here.
My brother runs the shop and we're just disgusted. And they're applying for an apartment, but I don't know why, because it seems like they've been living there the whole time, so it doesn't make any sense as to why anybody's applying for anything.
Okay, thank you.
It just doesn't make any sense. Seems stupid. My name's Sean Michael Parento. I own Custom Welding Fabrication next door too. And like you said, the smells when it gets warm is just horrible. I don't know how anybody could live there and have agricultural, commercial and residential. It just doesn't make sense to me. And he says he's wants to have 15,000 chickens by the time he's done. It's just ridiculous. That's just crazy. Especially he said it all lined up along our land. Like he's got it away from it and you know, whatever the few foot it is, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. I got my employees complaining. I've got customers coming in complaining. They can, you know, smell it like, what is that bad smell? It's next door. I can't imagine what they're gonna have when they have dead chickens out there. Like it's, plus the flies is the other thing. We were so swarmed with flies last year. We got fly traps everywhere and they just like within a day, they're just covered. I got some pictures, whatever, but
Okay,
that's our case.
thank you.
And the other thing is, I remind myself, our property, we never got any letters about this. I had to get it from them. Wanna see some pictures? So I don't know why we never got any notification about any of this meeting or anything, or any other meeting of him building anything over there.
But we addressed that at one point earlier today, and the notices did go out to your address. Why you didn't?
What? Neither a butter on either side got one.
Where the legal address would be.
127 Old Turnpike Road. Never go.
The town has it as a P.O. box. P.O. Box 105 West Nottingham. And that's address, it says Pat and Dev LLC. The applicants
changed for
gave
a
us
while
that
now.
for abutters, and then I checked it with what's on file with the town.
That's been changed so it's, but we never received any letter on this.
There's also a notice that went to 16 Cortlandt Way in Barrington.
That's the only reason we're here, sir. Like, that's the only reason why I knew, because she got it and she sent it to me, and it's like,
I think the town can only go on what's on the tax maps, or what's on the tax.
And so this address was taken off the tax maps, correct?
The address I got came from the applicant, and then I verified it with what the town has for,
And it's on the tax card,
it's on the tax
the
card.
same as what we received with the application,
Yep, the 105.
which is that's on you guys for that. Custom welding, that's on you guys.
Yeah, well, why, because they didn't update it in the tax maps?
Because it's not updated, that is yours, the tax map is your piece within town, so.
The post office updates though, so how does that work? The post office is the one that put the mail, how does put the mailbox in?
I signed off that 17 years ago, so I don't know how many.
I don't know when you come in to pay your taxes and stuff, I would think that all the addresses would be updated then,
Allowed in that zone.
but I don't. They did make the effort to send it to where
It's alright, we made it here, it's fine, we're not,
okay.
I'm not sure.
so
They'll
I
take
just,
your, they'll take.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak for or against this application? Going once, going twice. Right, I'm closing the public hearing at 8:01 PM. And I've seen that, thank you. I'm bringing it back to the board. Any further questions?
It's not here.
Evan?
Do you intend to live in the apartment?
Yes.
Okay, so this would be for your own
The
purpose.
chicken's gonna be in there.
Essentially
Yes.
act as a caretaker's apartment, yeah. It'll essentially act as a caretaker's apartment, which is one of the items permitted under state law. But this would permit it if for some reason he didn't and he hired somebody to do it, and they could have use of that as well.
Okay.
But, so it'll just be an unrestricted residential unit, but the intent is that Wade will make this his primary.
And so if we approve of the installation of an apartment above the wood shop, then you have to go to the building
Inspector.
building inspector, thank you, and have to comply with whatever the rules may be, like in fire rocking the ceiling
Yeah.
of the wood shop.
Already is.
Yeah.
Already is.
I think the building inspector, I spoke with him, just he was making sure that, cause I know he submitted a denial letter. I think he said that, making a condition of some sort that there's a life safety inspection, which he would do anyway as part of a building permit, that if he pulled for any interior work, kitchen or something like that. So there would be a life safety inspection to go along with that, for the residential unit as well.
So I have a quick question. In the paper that just passed through, it said something about you'd be selling chicken meat. Where would the chickens be slaughtered?
Not to restaurants.
Oh, so you're not, I know, you're not gonna drive the chickens to the restaurant. How is the chicken turning into chicken
Oh,
meat?
it goes to a facility that's USDA approved.
You don't do it on site?
No,
There you go.
Okay,
Right, and remember, we are here.
just curious.
yeah, no,
But I just,
Yeah, yeah.
I want everybody to be aware, including the people in the back, that the application before us is related to the apartment. We have nothing to say, do, or regulate about the chickens. It's not our purview on this, because the application before us is with regard to a apartment in the dwelling unit, and by law, that's what we need to be addressing.
I do have a question regarding buildings on the property. So I'm just not sure why the plan I'm looking at, the wood shop, is colored in. And then there's proposed buildings, and my question really is just, are those other buildings built now? Are they proposed? Cause I really can't tell by this plan.
one's a Quonset hut that covers my sawmill. The other one is a 15 by 30 approximately building that covers my kiln. So it ain't heating the outside world while it's trying to kill the
That's the
inside world.
15 by 30 concrete slab shown there.
I see it says
That's
kiln on.
That's the kiln structure, yeah. Yeah, and as part of actually, you know, I'm actually gonna be at Wade's site tomorrow morning. The last thing we have to do prior to the site plan, is to basically take some as-built shots on this such that the plan that we submit to the planning board, it'll show the chicken houses, on the site plan, but just reconfirming, obviously, that these boxes are within the location they were permitted, or if they've shifted slightly, making sure that's on, the site plan. So that does need to go for planning board reapproval. And additionally, we did make sure technically the planning board is also approving an apartment in this too. It's a modification to a site plan, so that residential unit qualifies because there's a commercial use, so you'll also have to be part of that approval with the planning board. Obviously, you can't ask them to approve it until it would be approved at this board.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Just trying to find that other map.
Curiosity question, and maybe Dirk, you might have an answer. How does the town address a business and a residence at the same address?
It's the same address?
It would be at the same address.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Is
just
is that normal?
it's allowed in some of the other districts.
Okay, that's all you have, that's all I have to say. Yep.
It needs either a special use or a variance to have it in the commercial.
Understood.
Do you mean specifically the addressing of it, of how that would?
Yeah, it's
okay.
just, but it's already done in other parts of the town, that's all it was. It's commonplace.
Anybody else have another question? All right. Entertain a motion of some sort?
I move for the approval of case number 26-002 VA Precision Cut Lumber LLC 123 Old Turnpike Road be approved.
Second that.
Okay, it's been moved by Romeo and seconded by Gary that we approve the case as written. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 500. All right, again, is that 30-day window?
Yep. Planning board next.
I know, right?
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Where do you buy your feed?
Vermont gets trucked in, I use a silo and an automatic feeding system.
I bought mine from Cargill. And they were very good that they would allow the feed to be blended the way I wanted. No,
That's nice.
no hormones, no antibiotics, and no arsenic.
Yeah,
I buy it by 2 tons at a time.
Good night.
nice.
All
Yeah, I
right,
was paying so much money for the bags that I had to buy a silo.
Yeah.
I bought a 6-ton silo, but now they're giving me static to get another silo because they don't wanna travel. What was the name of that place again?
Cargill,
Where's it at?
I might have it here. I don't do it anymore. It's, I had 6 dozen layers and that wasn't enough to make any sense. And
and then we're gonna continue on, we still have
Oh.
some business.
Sorry.
That's okay.
let me see if I got it.
Take this off.
Can you guys connect
This is one to
later?
take offline.
All right, we have,
Connect with Tracy.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Sorry, I don't have the address.
That's all right, thank you.
Cargill.
all right. Somebody else have their agenda that they can find. Are you sure? There you go. Mine is in here, but I've misplaced it.
It's okay.
All right, there's no further public here for any public comment. And for other business, we have to vote on the application and hearing deadline schedule that was put in our packets. Did anybody look over and see any issues? I looked at it, I didn't Do you have something for us?
And when I came in, had April 26th, and it was like a Sunday or something. So that is a change that I made. I made it the April 24th to make it follow with Friday, like all the other ones.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have anything else, any other issues with? All right, move for the approval of this, please. Motion to approve, somebody?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 zoning board of adjustments, public hearing and application deadline schedule.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved by Dirk and seconded by Bonnie that the ZBA public hearing and application deadline schedule be approved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Thank you. Next thing we have to do is the draft minutes. We go to those before the application changes, which I don't see in our packet. All right, the draft minutes from December. Long ago, everybody think back, except for you, Dirk, because you weren't here.
I'll abstain.
You can vote, it's just on the minutes, not that you were here.
Did you do 6B already?
Pardon me? I said I would do the approval of minutes before we do the application form,
Sorry.
because these, I'd like to get through these. December 16th, any corrections? We've had them a while, did everybody look at them?
Yes. I'm looking for them.
Mary, anything?
No, they look fine.
Thank you.
Bonnie, any, Kevin?
No problem.
All right, motion to approve.
So moved.
It's been moved by Romeo, a second.
Second.
Second by Gary, to approve the minutes from December 16th. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention?
Abstain.
Dirk, because he wasn't here, is abstaining. All right, so the minutes are approved. All right, the application, do we have that? Don't remember getting anything on that.
Yeah, it's in the tabs.
Yeah, you got it.
What's it under?
It's under case other.
Other, there it is.
Tracy, would you like to have a seat and talk about this for us, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Put you in the hot seat.
There you go. Tracy Stickney, Land Use Coordinator. Let's see, yeah, going from planning board to zoning, I noticed differences in how many packages were expected out from the applicant. And when I put together the packages and send them out, you have so many members and so many alternates that you really need at least 8 packages. And it only says 6 on here, but really you need 10, because if you send out 8, you don't have a copy for the file. So that's why I was just requesting if we could change that
Anybody else hearing the echo?
Yeah, there's been feedback.
Okay,
a little bit.
I don't know who's
I'll try sitting over here a little
take
bit.
care of it.
Maybe this is a better seat.
I'll mention it to Doug tomorrow.
So yeah, I just was hoping I could just do a little bit of administrative adjustment to that and have them give, because I had to have Mr. Kyle, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. He came back in and gave me some extra ones, and then the other applicant did too.
Okay,
Because like to get these maps, we don't have the paper or the capacity. So you really need the nice clean ones from the
Okay.
applicant. Also, I noticed that the deed was dropped off of the, sorry, it's
List.
been a long day.
that's okay.
Like the checklist for the applicants. And I kind of really need to have a deed to be sure that I have all the people, the actual
Agreed.
applicants and the actual owner. Because I have nothing to verify
We
from.
didn't used to require deeds, then we did require them. They are important to know.
Yeah, I
Who
find,
needs to sign the application, has to be all the owners,
yeah, because if one's missing, I wouldn't know.
right, and we can't,
And it's not always all
Duplicate a
listed
request.
in the roll as we just saw.
Right.
Sometimes the town records are incorrect, but the deed is gonna say.
It's almost a starting point.
Yeah, it's like, it really is, it's those checks and balances, it's really important. So I'd like to add that back
Okay.
into the checklist. And also the public notices, we have $10 as the cost to the applicant. But the postage has gone up so much that, because we do the certified return receipt, it's $10.44. And I've kind of talked to a select person, I've talked to planning people, I've talked to Ellen, we're trying to jive on what we really should be asking, and I did a little bit of a report on what the surrounding towns do, and they vary. Lee is $8, Epping is $22, Raymond is $15, Northwood is $15, Barrington is $10, and Deerfield is $8.70. So some of them obviously have not updated their form in a long time. And some of them are a little excessive, but they won't have to update for years. So I don't really know, I can't really recommend what amount we should make because I haven't gotten a clear answer from officials on what we should make it, but I think it should be at least like 11 or 12 to at least cover the costs, because
$10.44 is just the postage.
that's just the postage, that's not the envelope, it's not the ink, it's not the paper, the labor for me to stuff them.
I think that's probably why the other ones go with 15. And I think that seems
15
reasonable.
makes sense, yeah.
It covers everything,
Right,
and for a long time, hopefully.
well, hopefully. Who knows with the post office, it seems like it goes every couple of years.
But it would be nice that they're coordinated between the boards, like if the application is $15 for the zoning, it's 15 for the, does that make sense?
Yes, I definitely think they should match, and yeah, that's awful, isn't it? They should match, and then it's easier on the applicant, easier on everybody, then they all go to
And
one.
does the planning board also have 10 packets that are, so that is also the same then? We're
Yeah.
mirroring each other on that, okay.
Yep, that would mirror. And the last thing is the planning board on their forms has the $200 notice. Where's that? Hold on. The public notice fee is $200 on the zoning. And the plan also has that too, but plan had noticed double fee on a scenic road. So we did a little bit of research on that, and right in the RSA for the scenic road, it says that there's a second notice that needs to go out. So typically, the regular notices, you have 10 days before a meeting, and you have to do an additional one 7 days before.
Okay.
And so I was just thinking, again, to have things match. And if we have to, like these ones, I didn't, it wasn't a scenic road, so it wasn't anything to worry about. But I just think that if they matched as well, because we're gonna incur costs for a second notice.
Okay,
So it would be really good if they matched all around.
right, I'm in agreement with that. Yes,
Curious, it identifies, plans, drawn sort of hand sketches and things that are submitted to you. It doesn't say that, if there's a survey that could be added, or as a minimum, a tax map could be added.
I think
As part
in the
of the
application, it has like plans and those sort of things that it asks for.
Because a lot of times we don't get a survey or a tax map, and so
I'd have to look and be sure. I guess I'm assuming that it's identical, maybe it isn't.
that's all I would ask is,
Yeah, let me do some research on
we
that.
should get a map
Makes sense.
of one form or another, right? So,
But it may not be that a survey would be needed for some of the variances that
that's
would
right.
become.
that's right,
So I wouldn't
A
make it a
tax map.
requirement,
but
but
a
a
tax
tax
map.
map certainly could.
Sometimes we
tax
just don't
map.
know where it is.
we've often, Dirk, accepted hand-drawn sketches and stuff. My big thing, and I know several of us feel the same way, is I do not like things being handed to me during the meeting or just before. If it doesn't come a week prior, to the meeting, it doesn't exist, in my opinion, for our meeting. I mean, the thing that Ian went over with us was related to the law, but having that ahead of time and being able to read it ahead of time, to be able to absorb it and have any questions, to me is, I think it's critical. And so it's like, give me your completed packet a week ahead of time, or don't be giving me anything else. It's just, it's too much during a meeting, going through all these papers, trying to find everything, and it's,
Yeah, especially something as detailed as this.
exactly.
We can't read this thoughtfully.
No,
He did a pretty good job
he did a very good job, which is why I said
of
going over that.
disseminating it, but it doesn't always happen.
Correct, it does not. And even the pictures and stuff, it's like, well, I got these pictures, and it's like, I
So,
would have wanted those a week ago when I'm going through the pack at home.
so the
Maybe-
suggestion is if you only see a handwritten, try to include a tax map as a minimum. That sort of, that you can at least look at it, if it's rounded and you see something square, then you got something to base your decision on.
And I guess it's something that come up last minute, but as a general rule, we should be getting things at the meeting handed to us. So, look for a motion to,
Got a question.
okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's kind of ancillary to what we've got here, but I'm wondering how many applications are received that are rejected for lot line adjustments, et cetera, things like this, as a percentage. Are there 10 requests a month for approvals and one of them rejects or is rejected? What's the,
By us,
no,
Planning board
just
gets lot line adjustments.
by,
a request for a permit may be rejected by whatever authority, and then it has to come to ZBA. And I'm just wondering if our 50-foot side setback, et cetera, things like this are maybe a little too restrictive. This is a community that has, heck, what did we just have, a 300th anniversary? Lot lines, I don't think anybody knew what the heck that was. They just put rock walls up and stuff like that. But now we're dealing with more and more restrictive policies that force people to come to the ZBA. It's good that there is a ZBA, but it adds time delays and costs to getting something that is quite trivial in some cases. Like in the first case that we had tonight, done very well, but a minor incursion into the side setback. I'm just wondering if there's some ratio that we could say, maybe we need to do a little adjusting on this stuff in the future.
We have, since, we've been on the planning board, which is where the changes to the ordinances go.
Yeah.
And multiple times we've adjusted, at least 3 within the last few years, right? The lot lines, reducing those setbacks and stuff, trying to make it so not so much land was essentially taken from a landowner. I mean, if you have 2 acres and you carve out, who was it that figured out how much of that land was used? I don't remember now, but if you take out
Chris
the,
Evans.
yeah, that's right. All of the setbacks, it was what, half an acre total or something around the property? So we've talked about reducing them further. My opinion on it all is if your ladder is on your neighbor's property to work on whatever shed or whatever, then you're too close.
but
The 50, I have no idea why the original 50-foot, 100-foot, 75, I don't know why those were originally put in, but we have, Romeo, we've adjusted them several times.
Okay.
And we still get applications that are, and it's mostly people on the lake that have the smaller lots, or like this house, or even ours on 117, if we were wanted to do like a front porch, it used to have a front porch. if we were to try and put one on now, we don't have anywhere near the road frontage we would need for that. So it makes a difference to those older homes and the lakes, more so than the standard 2 acre or bigger property.
But the question was stats. So during our, we have the floor, during our August meeting, when we have the planning board, it'd be good to see the stats on what is coming in, what gets rejected by the, and I'm not sure if we saw that last August.
Well, I don't know that I made that August meeting, but I know that in the past, Dale has repeatedly printed out for us what the different applications have been rejected for and compared them. Most of them for quite a while were road frontage, and then there was ADUs, and then it was the setbacks. So he does do that.
Maybe, Romeo, that's a source where you could at least start and get the historical from Dale.
I'm just wondering, I'm trying to render the ZBA useless. That's not a very good statement, but that.
I think he has the stats.
Well, that's like to see it, just to see how much these setbacks are impinging on the ability of people building onto, or adding onto their home, or whatever the case might be. Kind of not like a live free or die idea. If you've got so many regulations and different organizations that you have to jump through their hoops before you can actually build something, I think it's
$2 and $16 a person, yes, it matters. Yeah.
We exist by law because we have a zoning ordinance. As long as we have a zoning ordinance, we have to have a ZBA. That's really true.
I didn't say get rid of the ZBA completely, just render it useless. If we had rules that allowed for some discretion on such things as side setbacks.
At the same
I don't
time,
wanna belabor the whole thing, I'm just throwing that out.
recently, the state and the changes that were made through the state, which of course come down to Nottingham as a whole. So there have been some things that, a lot of things were concentrated in that area, I think, this year because of that.
Well, especially the ADUs.
Oh, yeah. So there were some things that were laxed through that, from what I see.
And this is our first meeting of 2026, so we are getting fewer cases because of some of the changes that have been made, such as the ADUs and some of the setbacks, but we will still continue to see them, I believe anyway, because of the smaller lots with the lake especially, because they wanna have the bigger houses and they've got the smaller lots. So there's going to be a need for us, but you're right, it would be nicer if not everything you needed to do, yet you had to come through the ZBA.
We're close, Kevin, to adjourn.
Excuse my accent.
Hi, Kevin.
It's just a long day.
Understood.
Kevin, don't you have a question or something?
Excuse me?
Don't you have a question or maybe something to add before you leave?
I think I should leave.
Have a good
Before I
night.
do.
Thank you for coming. All right, anything further from the board? Ma'am?
I'm not clear on the map. Am I to ask the applicant to provide a copy of the tax map, or is that something you want me to do as an extra thing for the board and not require that from the
I would
applicant?
add it to the application.
Put it on the burden of the applicant.
Add it to the applicant,
Sure.
okay.
And none of this should be a burden to you, except for getting it out to us. It is really the applicant's responsibility to hand you the packets and the monies so that you can get the job done. Okay?
Okay, great, thanks.
Welcome. We all set with all of that now?
The $15, was that a voted on thing that, okay,
Makes sense.
seems reasonable, others are doing that and it'll save us the time in the future of.
Right. And if you in doing your job, see that there's a need for something else, there's always a period of time for you to bring something up to us at a meeting. And we can discuss it and vote on it, because this job is not supposed to be burdensome for you. You're just supposed to be the tool for which it all passes through, okay?
And we want you happy.
Thanks. I'm happy.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Does anybody else have anything?
I asked that question so that you could do your spiel and clarify. We weren't talking about the birds, we were
Okay.
talking about the apartment, because we had that discussion earlier, and I just wanted, not earlier, but that we were discussing that the focus was the structure,
Correct.
not the agricultural practices. And I wanted the people that were objecting to know that that was the focus of our meeting, the building, not the birds.
Thank you.
I don't think they still know.
No, they don't. And you know,
People
I
hear
don't
what they
blame them
wanna
for being
hear.
upset, but we all, as neighbors to different people, have loves and not loves, so there you go.
Even Dale put in the denial that there were complaints about chickens, which really isn't our business.
It's not the structure.
Anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
No, wait, anything else?
Second.
How did your first meeting go?
Perfect, we're right on time.
Alright, it's been moved and seconded, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Who's in favor?
Nobody else votes against it.
Aye.
You wanna vote on it? All approve? All those in favor of adjourning?
I
There you go.